Hi, my name is Martha Van Walbeek. My topic was multicultural literature. This study was about critical issues of teacher mismatches between the white and black students, the lack of multicultural literature, and the impact of racism portrayed in some of the multicultural books. Jackson, 2023, Rofiba, 2024. So in 2005, the National Assessment Educational Progress Report revealed the achievement gap between the Blacks and the Latinos and their peers of white in the fourth grade classroom of more than 26 points in the area of reading. Jackson 2003, Lattice Billings 2006. Furthermore, Latinos, African Americans, and Native Americans and Asians are increasingly in school systems that have a high dropout rates due to demographics and socioeconomic status. Lattice and Billings, 2006, Rumberger, 1995. The low economic status of the students of color show a higher dropout rate. Lattice and Billings, 2006, Rumberger, 1995. While multicultural students struggle with reading, they can succeed by integrating innovative curriculum with multicultural literature, school programs, and digital tools to advance the skills of all the students. You may ask, what is the problem? Well, there is a lack of multicultural literature and bilingual teachers, and the whiteness of multicultural literature and the bias among the students and the teachers have profound implications that need immediate attention. So this slide shows the table to the right, the demographics of the breakdown of the children's books published in the USA from 2018 and 2021. In 2018, half of the children's books published depicted the white people, and 27% depicted animals or inanimate objects. Page 58. This is a lack of representation, and it is profound, and it affects the self-esteem of the student. So it is affecting their identity. So how would you feel if you were not represented as a prince or a princess, and most of them are white, and the black little girls feel insignificant and they don't feel valued, and it's a harmful message. They feel ugly and unworthy. Unfortunately, students of color will receive this message that their lives are not valuable or worthy, and only white lives matter. Jackson, 2023. Jackson notes that the whites are overpowering the book industry by 75% and the publishing industry by 86%. All young readers, especially students who struggle and students of color, need multicultural books in the early childhood reading programs so they can have images of themselves. So this graphic is great. I love it. It has the diversity in children's books, 2018. So as you can see, the breakdown, the white person has lots of mirrors to reflect himself. His life is valuable, and the animals are depicted, and it doesn't show any objects, but the mirrors get smaller is what I've noticed. What do you notice? So I just want to mention that white supremacy needs to be, they are more active. The CRT is more active, and they are investigating the racism and the multicultural literature in schools. And it revealed that white women and white men appeared more often in children's book than Black women of color. So it also portrays them more positively, the white men and the white women and the Black men. And the Black woman is always portrayed negatively. So white women have certain advantages because of the color of their skin. And that is Attica 2022, page 7. Also, white people are more likely to be positively characterized than Black people in books. Attica 2022. All people's lives matter. Okay, so we have 80% white teachers in the public school in the United States. We need to hire more Black teachers and more bilingual teachers so students can relate to the Black teachers and the bilingual teachers can break the language barriers. And teachers may not have adequate training or knowledge in implementing multicultural education. They might not be speaking more than one language, and we are leading to the lack of confidence and effectiveness in our teaching practices. And consequently, we need to help students with language barriers and bring in cultural awareness. And it is necessary for all students to succeed. Jackson 2023 and Urbis 2019. And Rafia said this quote, 2024, page 3. So my PD proposal was teaching training workshops, and we would start with the introduction of multiculturalism, the research behind it, the goals, and teachers would reflect on their goals and the diverse backgrounds in their classroom, in the school, and discover multicultural literature. They would have book talks and they would have cultural themes, and they would also have a facilitator there going over book talks, and he would also be, or she would be reviewing award-winning books. And they would also talk about methods for implementing multicultural children's literature into the classroom so you wouldn't have any stereotypes, or you would enrich all cultures in the classroom and brainstorm lesson plans together for the kids with strategies and create a diverse classroom and become cultural aware where the teachers have already made connections or plan to make connections, depending on what time of year you have this, with their students. And you find strategies that work by either standing in a circle or talking about culture in your life or your family practices. And so, yeah, try and find ways to avoid biases and also social consciousness. So teachers have to be aware of society problems, so they would have to brainstorm things that might be going on in the society and become aware of the culture and have self-awareness of the culture in the society and in the classroom and have reflective practices and responsive practices by connecting with the students and planning the lessons and making sure that has pedagogy in it and it relates to the students. Questions and takeaways and resources with book lists, and also have library databases collaborating with librarians and other teachers. And also they could write authors or have authors come and talk. And that would be great for them to do the research and write for grants so they could have books integrated into their classroom and also donated to the libraries. Significance behind it is great because Howard states that by eighth grade, an even larger number of students of color have fallen behind a grade level in mathematics, 53% African American, 43% Latinx, and 43% African American Indian students are below basic, page 18. There is a high need for multicultural children's literacy books. In addition, Howard also mentions an analysis of the United States Department of Education revealed that in 2018, students of color were 42% of the US population. Page 39. So it's just important that we realize that multiculturalism speaks to everyone because everybody comes from culture and diversity. We all have culture and race. And so we need to call it multiculturalism. So cultural capital connects multiculturalism, relevance, and pedagogy to inspire the students' aspirations and give them critical hope throughout their suffering. Duncan Andrade, 2009. So I recommend find diverse books that fit your students. Urbis 2019 and Jackson 2023. And research multicultural literature in library databases, build a multicultural classroom, and book lists on this website with children's and transitional books and social justice books. And it talks about how it rates them and has recommendations. So children's literature needs to reflect the culture in the world in which we live, Brinson 2012. And Urbis states, one of the best ways to bring the students' cultures into the classroom is to find children's books that properly represent their cultures. Page 405. So the implications are all learners need to make sure that the culture is relevant and the pedagogy, and with multicultural children's literature to close the gap between the whites and the students of color and the best teaching practices. And the lack of multiculturalism affects the students' image and their identity, and it makes their life seem insignificant. And that they think only white lives matter. All lives matter. Everyone matters. Multicultural literature is for all students since everybody has different cultures and races. And educators must integrate multicultural children's books in multicultural classroom. And we all have culture and race, and we should be teaching multicultural literature through children's books. And thank you so much. I appreciate it.